Whoa, nah, what's up with it? Whoa, this and whoa, that's. It's TK with Cuts by Kelly. In this video, I got a mid fade, and we're going with a 1.5 on top all the way around. So obviously, that's like your waivers go-to number, 1.5 or 2. So that's what we're doing right here. If you like this content, hit the like button. If you're learning something from this content, hit the subscribe button. And if you got something that you want to see, put that in the comments and I'll try to make a video about it. You can see I'm going with the grain, and I wanted to point out this part around the swirl because this is where you can make or break this all around even haircut. Pretty much is by putting a gash or a goop in the haircut around the swirl. So the rule of thumb, just comb it or brush it first. I like combing it. You see I'm combing it against the grain and how the hair stood up. That let me know that I'm combing it the wrong way. So you want to comb the hair first and then go with the direction of the hair growth. So like I said, I prefer to comb it. You can brush it, but combing it is better for me because it's also going to get all the lumps and knots out the hair. If you don't have it combed and you go over it, it can leave a gash. So keep that in mind. So I'm setting my ball line, and since I'm doing a mid fade, I typically don't go too much higher than where the ear meets the head. I'm not talking about the top of the ear, it's where the ear and the side of the head connects. So that's where I typically set my ball line at, and I try not to go too much higher than that. And then from there we're gonna set up our fade process. You can see me, I have my one guard on and I'm at the top. So when I usually do my fades, I set my ball line, then my middle line, then I go to the top. Right here, I'm going to the top first, and then I'm gonna come back and set my middle guideline. Now you see me going all the way open. I'm setting my middle guideline, and then I'm gonna put my zero guard on and start my fading process. Which my fading process is simple: close, then quarter, 3/4, then open. So it's the same thing over and over. It could get redundant, but that's what you want it to do because it becomes second nature. And then at that point, you can really just focus on making the blend even better once you start getting used to your system. So I want to point this out right quick. When I'm doing my fade process, I'm pretty much doing the same thing over and over. And the reason why I'm saying that is because sometimes you might see me set my ball line first, then the middle guideline, and then I will set the top line. And then sometimes you'll see me set the ball line, and then the top line, and then the middle after. I mean, that part right there don't matter if I do it in a certain order, And also the fading, I don't have to fade from bottom to top. I can fade from top to bottom. So I could do all that differently, but I know it's the same thing. So for me, I got a system that I typically do each time. Sometimes I might change the order that I'm doing it, but I'm still doing the same thing. So I just want to put that out there because sometimes you might see me doing something a little different, and you might think I'm not doing what I'm saying, but I'm actually doing it. So you see me connecting this blend. I started at the top, right? At the beginning, I started with the top guideline. After I set my ball line, I went straight to the top. Then I set my midway guideline. I put my zero guard, did closed quarter, 3/4, and open. Then I took my guard off, or I changed my clippers. That's what I usually do. And I come from the bottom, the ball line, and I fade it to that middle part. And you can see my guy, he in a better place at the moment. So right now I'm just taking my time and I'm just getting that blend as good as possible as I can see. Now I'm going back and do my spot check like I always say. I always go through the process at least once, then I'll go back and do spot checks, make the blend even better. And I can't stress this out enough, please don't beat yourself up. If your blends ain't the best, just give it time. The more you do it, the better you'll get. So just keep that in mind, right? Here we are in the back, same thing over and over. We got the ball line at the bottom, I'm setting my middle guideline, and then I'm gonna go with the one guard and go to the top. That's what I'm doing right here, setting my guideline at the top. Now, I'm not trying to set it too hard. I will go in and I will blend it out. So as I'm going up here at the top, you can see I'm using my corners to try not to set the guideline too hard. Now sometimes I do, especially when I'm making these videos, I try to set it hard so you can see it and you can see the difference. But for me, I'd rather just set it real soft because it makes it easy for me to go back and blend it out. I got my zero guard on now and I'm starting my fading process from that middle to the top. As I go up, I open my blade even more. So I go from closed to quarter, 3/4, and open. And sometimes in the back of the head, the hair doesn't grow straight down. It grows to a side. Like one side will grow to one side and the other one will grow to the other side. Sometimes the middle will grow down. And so you can see me turning my clippers different ways. And that's just for me to make sure I'm going against the grain. So whatever you got to do to make sure you're going against the grain to get the blend right, do it. When you're going through your steps, you don't have to change that. That could stay the same. But you might have to change your angles and all that to get the hair off. But if you got the system and you work the system, it's going to work for you, trust me. So I do the same thing on everybody's head, and to me, my haircuts come out great. As you can see, the top half of this the fading area is starting to be blended, and that half is looking better with each stroke. And I didn't want to cut this off or chop it up like I've been doing these last videos. I haven't been chopping it up too much because I want you to see the whole process. And so if it's a little long and you already know this, you can skip to the next part. But I didn't want to chop it up too much because I'm really trying to aim at those people who really don't have a clue on what they should be doing. So hopefully this is helpful. Right now I got my one guard back on, and I'm at the top part where I initially started at, where I set that guideline. Now I'm trying to blend that out. So you can see me really using my corner so I don't make a heavy line as I go up. I'm blending out the weight and I'm connecting the top of that fade to the rest of his hair. So I got the top blended in. I'm here at the bottom with my blade closed. Now I'm opening it up a little bit and I'm going up. And then obviously I'm gonna open it up to 3/4, then open, and that's gonna connect that middle guideline that we started initially to the ball. So I'm working the bottom of the fade right now, and I'm just connecting those two areas. So I pretty much worked all the way through those steps with the no guard section at the bottom. Now I'm going through my spot check now. I connected those two areas. Now I'm just trying to make it as seamless as possible, and I'm also just checking for spots. So I just want to remind y'all, you don't have to change clippers out. This is something that I do. I've gotten used to it, but you can use the same clip throughout this whole process and get a nice fade. Right now, I just do it like this because I've been doing it for a while, and this is what I'm used to. Alright, now we're pretty much at most people's favorite part of a haircut, and that's the lineup. All the fading is pretty much done. Like I do all the time, I'm gonna line them up and then I'll go back and do my final walkthrough on the fade. But right now I'm doing the lineup. The most important thing with this is your blades need to be set right and they need to be sharp. If you've been using the same blade for a year, man, get rid of that thing. Get you a new one. And that's just facts. You're probably getting a good line, but it's probably taking you way too long to get that look. So you want to stay up on your blades. So with that being said, like rule of thumb, like at least, I mean, if you stretching your blade, get you a new one once a quarter. I would say that's just do that. I mean, because if you're doing something anything like over that, you pretty much trying to stretch that blade out. And I'm just telling you this because I know how it is once you get your new blade and how crispy it is, and it's easier to work with. It just goes through faster. But I mean, yeah, just try that out and see if you like it. If not, go back to what you're doing. But I know if you got a blade and you 6 months in the game and you cutting a lot of hair and you still using that same blade, you cheating yourself. I'm just being real. So keep that in mind, man. You can see my blades and my clippers are pretty sharp, and I pretty much tap at the line. I don't have to press hard. So, and that's because I pretty much keep a fresh blade to make the process easier. Something else I want to point out, most people you cut their lineup, the hair around the lineup, it won't be full all the way through. That's just what it is. Most people won't be full all the way through, so you're trying to find the right area where you're gonna get as crispy as possible with taking off as less hair as possible. So what I do is I look over the lining and then I see where more hair is consistently throughout the edge of his hair. And once I see that, that's where I'm gonna aim at to bring the lining at. If one part is like low in one section is low and then the rest of it is high, I'm not gonna line up that low section. I just go to the high part, because it's more uniform there. So that's something you want to pay attention to. Unless you're unsure, just stay low. If you don't know, just stay low. And I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I don't line it up as crispy as possible, especially if it's their first time there, because I don't know, what they like or don't like. So I'd rather leave more hair on than take too much off, because it's easier to make that adjustment. When y'all on the side of y'all linings, you really got to use the corner of your clipper to get that C going. If you putting your whole clip on there, you're probably going too straight. That's just a rule of thumb. But I'm liking how this lineup is coming in, especially with the blend. To me, it's looking pretty good. Alright, we coming to the end of this video. If you're still here, I really appreciate you. I hope you learned something from this video. And if you did, hit that subscribe button. If you like the content that I'm putting out, hit the like button as well. And also, leave a comment if you have any questions or concerns about something that I'm doing, or if I'm not explaining it like you would like. But with that being said, this right here is the before. And here is the after. I like it. Hopefully you like it. The lining is pretty sharp. The blend is pretty smooth. I like it. So if you like it, like I say, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button and leave a comment if you have any questions or concerns. But with that, this is TK with Cuts by Kelly, and I appreciate you.